seated now. Okay. Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the official inauguration of the McNaughton Learning Resource Center. This project has been in development since September 2013, and today it's finally become a reality. And so for those of you who are just learning about the center, it can be described as a facility dedicated to enhancing the learning experience of IEEE student members here at UOIT. The center makes available a variety of tools and instruments that are useful to every aspiring engineer. We believe that the center will promote creative ideas and projects and inspire our undergraduates. Well, with that being said, I'd like to call up our first speaker, Chad, who will be giving us a presentation about the IEEE branch here at the university.
Thank you, Rudy. My name is Chad Waney, and I'm the Public Relations Officer here at the IEEE UOIT team. On behalf of the IEEE UOIT team, I would like to say welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your day for coming out and celebrating this milestone in our history. Our past chair, Sue Selva, current chair, Zaid Azmatullah, and our co-chair from non-center, Rudy Lang, and the remaining members like Carla are worked hard and diligently for you guys to come out and help us celebrate on this great day of ours. I'd also like to especially thank all our sponsors and donors, IEEE Canadian Foundation, the Foundation for Building Sustainable Communities, as well as the Faculty of Engineering here at UOIT for their continued support for this project. Without your support, this success would not be and will not have been possible. Our mission here at UOIT IEEE is to continue to develop the educational experience for engineering students, to provide them with the tools and resources they would require to succeed not only in university and the classes, but also out there in the work industry, so they can find their future careers. We hope to accomplish this by utilizing the center to encourage students to experiment and innovate in engineering. This year, IEEE UOIT is planning a number of events to stay true to our mission statement. We're planning outreach events with local high schools, conferences with other universities, and industry field trips for our students. We'd be grateful if we could have our support once more in each of our initiatives, and we'd like to thank you in advance for your support. Once again, thank you for taking time out of your day to come out and continue to show us support. Please continue to keep in touch with us, stay connected, keep in contact with us in regard with the events that are taking place later on this year. Thank you.
The next person we would like to welcome is Dr. Vijay Sood, who is the branch counselor for us here at UOIT. Dr. Sood has provided us with outstanding encouragement, advice, and selfless service. He has been here since the establishment of the committee. And, sorry, oh, actually, disregard that. Actually, just come up, please.
Thank you.
A little bit out of order.
Thank you. Well, I just want to repeat what Chad said earlier. Welcome to UOIT, and it's a great honor for us to have members of the IEEE Canadian Foundation, for members like John and our colleagues from our sustainable communities. Tremendous amount of work has been done in the last 2 years to get to today. And I would be remiss if I don't acknowledge a few people. One of the people I'm really glad that is Sri Selva Kumar, who is here today. He's working, but he took time off to come and be here. He was the primary driving force, really, to initiate the student chapter and then the McNaughton Center. Just a little bit of history. Going back to 2009 or so, the IEEE student chapter over here fell into disrepair. And once something goes into disrepair, to try and build from the ground up becomes a tremendous task. And Sri came on board at that time. He was a third-year student. And he took the initiative and he built a team around himself. Excuse me for a second. I have a bit of a sniffle. So once he got to that point, then things started moving, and last year in 2013, September, the application for the McNaughton Center was put in. The university authorities were tremendously helpful. Dr. Sidhu, who is the dean of the faculty, allocated space, and you've seen the space upstairs. Without the space, of course, this center would not be running. So the support of the faculty. The chair unfortunately has a meeting to go. He was here earlier, Dr. Qusay Mohammed. He had to leave a little bit earlier. Again, his support was crucial as well to make sure that things fell into place. Tremendous number of people got together to get this organization up and running. So here we are today, and I want to support the team that is in place today. Zahid with his team, Rudy, Chad, Carla, these guys deserve all the support from me and you. Thank you guys for getting this McNaughton Center up and running. And basically with that, we are here to celebrate this event. Please enjoy your day out here, and we really appreciate your coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Su. Next, we would like to welcome David White, who is the IEEE Canadian Foundation President. The IEEE Canadian Foundation has supported the McNaughton Center and other initiatives throughout the year, and we'd like to present him with an award, a certificate of recognition. Yes. No, not Charles, actually.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
May present a speech.
Sure, thank you. Well, thank you very much. This is much appreciated. And on behalf of the IEEE Canadian Foundation, I'd certainly like to congratulate UOIT on the opening of their McNaughton Center. I always say it's a great achievement to have a IEEE student branch, but it's an even greater achievement to have a McNaughton Learning Resource Center. And I again congratulate you on behalf of the IEEE Canadian Foundation. The IEEE Canadian Foundation, in case you don't know, is a registered Canadian charity. We are independent of, but supportive of IEEE Canada and its goals and aims. And broadly speaking, we have three major programs that you are or should be familiar with. We have a national program of scholarships. We have special grants that enable, by and large, student groups or future student groups to do things that perhaps they couldn't otherwise do or get started, so new innovative projects. And indeed, we have the McNaughton Learning Resource Centers, which were established back in 1979, the first one being in Winnipeg. We have about 35 now here at UOIT, being the newest one. And over those years, we've managed to put in pretty close to $500,000 into McNaughton Learning Resource Centers across the country. And indeed, we look forward to supporting them in the future. All of this, of course, is supported by our generous donors, not IEEE donors, but people who choose to donate to us as a charity. So if you're one of our donors in the room, I'd like to say thank you. This is a great example of what your donations make possible. If you're not a donor yet, it's a good time to start. If you're a student, I know students sometimes live on limited budgets, so I'm not going to twist your arm for a donation today. Once you graduate, keep us in mind. And we are on Facebook, so if you like us, connect with us there, keep in touch, and that would be great. The Learning Resource Center, as we heard earlier, is to enhance the learning experiences of IEEE student members. So it doesn't want to duplicate all the good things that you have here at this institution, but it's looking to provide incremental experiences and student-driven experiences. And those are technical, yes, that's what most undergraduates want to do. So I see Arduinos and components and stuff, that's great. But we also know that there's an aspect, and employers like to see this, of budgeting, project management, and leadership as well. Across the country, McNaughton centers, of course, everyone has their own sort of sense of local priorities and interests. So we've seen some want to do ham radio stations, some focus on robotics, some have done TV receive-only satellite terminals, some have built up very elaborate audio testing labs, some work on robotics. Every interest is a little bit different. That's okay. The key thing is that the students are deciding and managing. And I would also remind students that as part of our national ongoing once-a-year program, there are opportunities to seek funds to enhance and refresh an established center. So, we do know that whatever students might have purchased some years ago, sure, it gets tired, obsolete, time for replacement, or they have new ideas, new initiatives. Keep that one in mind. I'm often asked a little bit about General McNaughton, who the center is named after. Really interesting fellow, and I'm glad to see you have your little biography on the wall there, as well as his photograph. If you look him up, Wikipedia doesn't really do justice to all his great accomplishments. He's a really interesting guy, born in Moosomin, Saskatchewan. Who knows where Moosomin, Saskatchewan is? One person, excellent, excellent. He then went to McGill for his undergraduate and master's degree in electrical engineering. He's recognized as an engineer, yes, but also a scientist, inventor, soldier, a statesman, and really he gave his entire working life to service to Canada. He was a general in the Canadian Armed Forces. He was the president of the National Research Council. The picture that you have upstairs represents that period of his life when he was the president of the National Research Council. He was a cabinet minister. Some historians would say he nearly became a first Canadian Governor General had World War II not intervened. He's recognized for his technical skills in developing the cathode ray direction finder, which some people describe as an early forerunner of radar as we know it today. Laying the groundwork for commercial air travel in Canada, a lot of early work in the development and regulation of nuclear energy in Canada, involved with the planning and development of the St. Lawrence Seaway. Lots of really interesting things, and that reminds us that, yeah, sure, you did study electrical engineering, but that's a good background to take you into lots of interesting things where you can contribute to community life. And that would remind me of the words that he left, one of his speeches at a graduation ceremony many years ago. Purpose, defined and firmly held, and always pressed with vigor. And that's a good message for all the students to take away, that your purpose, whether it's doing something with Arduinos today or something with your community sustainable technologies, whatever is of interest and relevance to you is worth living. So with all that, then I would again like to say on behalf of the Articulate Canadian Foundation, congratulations on opening your center.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Next, we would like to welcome Emmanuel Estrat. He is the IEEE Toronto Section Chair. The IEEE Toronto Section has provided us with a standing partnership, encouragement, and ongoing financial support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Support.
Thank you.
Hello. On behalf of the IEEE Toronto section, I would like to congratulate the UOIT student branch on the inauguration of the McNaughton Center, and at the same time I would like to thank the student branch and the IEEE Canadian Foundation and the university, the UOIT, for making this McNaughton Center possible. It will be a focal point for the IEEE community within the UOIT, and I believe that it's important for electrical engineers interested in advancing in their career in electrical engineering to form a community here at UOIT, which will most likely later also involve other communities of electrical engineers across the GTA and across the world. The IEEE is local in each educational institution, as the student branch shows. It is also local in each geographical section, so in the IEEE section, which I represent. And of course, it's also very active at the global level with all the journals, conferences, and the global resources provided to engineers. So I'm glad that the McNaughton Center is being established here at the UOIT and is being inaugurated today, which will help students be part of the IEEE community in the institution at a geographic local level and also at a global level. And once again, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Next, we would like to welcome Glenn McNaughton and Joan Kerr. They are from the Foundation for Building Sustainable Communities. FBSC has provided us with outstanding support during the Maker Fair Involvement Project and during the development of the McNaughton Resource Center.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we better look at the.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was going to give greetings from our chair from the Toronto section, but surprisingly he showed up. I didn't know that being in Toronto that he would realize that there's people that live east of Toronto. So I'm glad he made the journey. It's a real pleasure to be here. When I first spoke with Tree about the McNaughton Center, he was, I think, a little surprised about the idea, and I said, well, we need to push for it. It's something that is critical because it's a stepping stone in the direction of awareness. It's, and I took a quick assessment of the students from this university who took advantage of the scholarships, fellowships, whether it's women in technology or elsewhere, and I saw a real underrepresentation from the student body and applications. And I think this is a real seminal step today. I think the awareness of the importance of IEEE, the importance of the foundation to the student body, I think we're in the right step. And largely because of Shree's hard work and the fellow members. Now, I'm going to let Joan in a minute talk about what our foundation is doing locally, but I wanted to mention a number of things, and a lot of the information about General McNaughton has already been spoken about, that he was a diplomat, engineer, and politician, and it was an IEEE member, Mr. Glass, that was the inspiration behind it, and he named it in honor of a great Canadian. But it's important to note that he was truly a Renaissance man. This is a person that went way beyond his humble background. He grew up in a teeny little place. And who's the person that knew where that town was? Okay, here's the quiz. It was a Canadian Pacific Railroad. His dad was just a simple shopkeeper. And in February, the temperature is minus 42 Celsius. Okay? What is that equivalent to in Fahrenheit? Anybody have an idea?
Minus 40.
Yes, it's almost, at that point they start to emerge. It's actually minus 41 Fahrenheit. It's the only time you don't mind saying it's minus something in Fahrenheit, and it's actually warmer than Celsius. As been mentioned, he was born in 1887, and he basically became the Minister of Defense. You got to think this through. He was a major general during the Second World War, as mentioned in terms of the technology, but he went on to incredible things. So I think the fact that the center is named in his honor, I think is a real great idea. I also want to mention that this is, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the 35th student location. So you have a huge family. Some have floundered, some have grown. So we hope this one will constantly get infusion with new student body. Now, what's the impact of the Resource Center? Well, let me go through a few things. For you student body, it's going to be a resource repository. I think stuff like we've done with the DIY that Joan will mention, when we have access to donations from different technology or maker spaces, let's get it into the center. Practice kits, so people who have never touched a Raspberry Pi or Arduino, let's do it. It'll have resources and information about the scholarships and other programs and topics and inducement for them to get involved with the Toronto chapter. It's an innovation space. Think of a mini Mellow Park, or it's basically a location that, because people are rubbing elbows with each other, you don't know what's going to happen. And innovation doesn't happen by itself. People actually need to bounce ideas off each other. And the thing that I would like to see, obviously because Joan and I are passionate about humanitarian causes, is the students get involved with something called SITE. There's SITE chapters around the world. It's humanitarian technology centers. The forthcoming in Ottawa, the IHTC, which we're part of, which was in Montreal, which will be in Ottawa, and hopefully in Toronto the year after, and which is another thing that Joan and I are involved with, is Humanitarian Initiative Committee, and that came out of something that developed with the IEEE Foundation and the UN Foundation on Humanitarian Technology Solutions, which had 3 areas: data connectivity, second one was reliable electricity, and the third one was individual records. That's in the case where people in war-torn areas, their ID's not with them, and it goes with them. So that, for us to have a Canadian staff, we worked together and we developed the Humanitarian Initiative Committee, and Joan actually is quite seminal